to Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah foreshadows the return of Christ when he comes back in flaming fire, taking vengeance on them that know not God and that obey not the gospel. He calls his own people, you know, you're just like Sodom and Gomorrah. Look around you. Is this nation we in not like Sodom and Gomorrah? You castrating kids. You done killed 60 million through abortion. Fighting right now tooth and nail to be able to kill your own progeny. Sacrificing them on the altar of convenience. You look in the cities and you have murder going rampant. They are all of them unto me as Sodom, and the inhabitants thereof as Gomorrah. You've destroyed the first institution amongst man, which is marriage. By saying that two of the same sex can be married, you made it law in violation of divine law. They are all of them unto me as Sodom, and unto the inhabitants thereof as Gomorrah. Verse 15.
Therefore thus saith the Lord of hosts concerning the prophets, Behold, I will feed them with wormwood, and make them drink the water of gauze.
See, destruction is coming for them. Go ahead and read.
For from the prophets of Jerusalem is profane is gone forth into all the land.
Because of you, because of the false prophets. He said profaneness is gone forth into all the land. When you got one false prophet getting up in a church full of sodomites and say, we sorry. We? You don't speak for me. I tell you, you better repent or you're going to hell. And you can repent from homosexuality. Nevertheless, he said, for from the prophets of Jerusalem is profane, is gone forth into all the land, but what you should not do is to strengthen the hands of evildoers. Let's keep reading.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, hearken not unto the words of the prophets that prophesy unto you.
They do what?
They make you vain.
Don't listen to these people. What do they do?
They speak a vision of their own heart, and not out of the mouth of the Lord.
They're speaking something from their own mind or own heart and not out of the mouth of the Lord. Go ahead and read.
They say still unto them that despise me. The Lord hath said, ye shall have peace.
Man, how could you say to a bunch of sinners you're going to have peace? You'll have peace if you repent and turn from your sin, but if not, you will only have turmoil. Go ahead and read.
And they say unto every one that walketh after the imagination of his own heart, no evil shall come upon you.
Go ahead.
For who hath stood in the counsel of the Lord, and hath perceived and heard his word?
Go ahead.
Who hath marked his word and heard it? Behold, a whirlwind of the Lord is gone forth in fury, even a grievous whirlwind. It shall fall grievously upon the head of the wicked.
See, that's what happens. That is justice. Go ahead and read.
The anger of the Lord shall not return until he hath executed, until he hath performed the thoughts of his heart.
Go ahead.
In the latter days he shall consider it perfect.
And one thing about the Lord, man, the Lord's judgment, when he comes and put punishment, it is a perfect punishment. It is a fitting punishment. You can only look at it and say it's justice. Even being among the ones of the descendants who were cast into slavery for sin and kicked out of the land and went into bondage by way of ships and served for hundreds of years in these distant lands in this diaspora. When I go back into the book and I see what my forefathers did, I can only say it's justice. I can only say we need to repent and turn back to a merciful God. I can only say, as Daniel said, we must acknowledge our sin. We have broken the commandments. Let's keep reading.
I have not sent these prophets, yet they ran.
So now he's talking about these false prophets. He said, I have not sent these prophets, yet they did what?
Ran.
They run into you. You shall have peace, brother. How so? He said, I have not spoken to them, yet they what?
Ran.
They got their own word. What would have happened had they really been dealing with him? 22.
But if they had stood in my counsel and caused my people to hear my word,
then what would they have done?
then they should have returned from their evil ways.
Go ahead.
And from the evil they're doing.
See, he said, but if they had actually stood in my counsel and caused my people to hear my words, then they should have turned them from their evil way and from the evil of their doing. This is what the prophet of God will do. Let's skip down to verse 25. Go ahead and read.
I have heard what the prophets said, that prophesy lies in my name.
Go ahead.
Saying, I have dreamed.
These Martin Luther King Negroes, listen. He said, I have heard what the prophets said that prophesy lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed. Even him. I've been to the mountaintop. I've seen the promised land. That is folly. When he took him up, he was talking about land. He was not talking about integration. So now you can be more of a European. So now you can be more of an American. What you need to be more of is a child of God. What you need to do is come up out of this false religion that you got here in this sojourn. What you need to do is turn back unto him and be an example to these Europeans and to these Asians and to these Africans and to all these other people. Because that's what he told you to be. He said, you'll be a kingdom of priests. Not a kingdom of dope dealers. Not a kingdom of harlots. Not a kingdom of fornicators, whoremongers. Not a kingdom of homosexuals. Not a kingdom of degenerates. But a kingdom of priests. Talking about, I have a dream. You need to wake up. Let's keep reading.
How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies?
Go ahead.
Yeah, they are prophets of the deceit of their own heart.
He said, how long will this be? They are prophets of the deceit of their own hearts. Deuteronomy 13. See what else Moses wrote about prophets and warning about this. Deuteronomy 13 and verse 1. Deuteronomy 13 and 1. When you ready to go ahead and read?
If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams,
go ahead.
And giveth thee a sign or a wonder.
So now you can, he said, if a prophet rise and he give you a sign or a wonder. Now the one didn't come to pass, right? Let's read verse 2. Go ahead and read.
And the sign of the wonder come to pass.
Now if it come to pass, well, it can come to pass. It can come to pass. He said, and the sign or the wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto thee, saying, what?
Let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known.
Go ahead.
Let us serve them.
Now, just because something come to pass that this false prophet has said, don't mean he's not false. Because you know something wrong with him. Because what did he do? Let us go after who?
Other gods.
Other gods. Forget the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. As you know, Baal over here, he kind of cool. Let us go after other gods which thou hast not known, and let us serve them. When the true and living God said, have no other gods before me. See, that's a sign. See, when they tell you to violate Torah, when they tell you to break the commandments, you know not sent from God. We can hold our finger here and go to the book of Numbers. Because here we see that he does deal, I want to show you, he does deal with his prophets in dreams. Let's pick it up in Numbers, the 12th chapter, and we'll pick it up at verse 1. Numbers 12 and 1. When you're ready, go ahead and read.
And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married. For he had married an Ethiopian woman. So
now this Moses, who was leading the people, he married another woman. His people, his brothers, and his brother and sister got mad. He married an Ethiopian woman, verse 2.
And they said, Hath the Lord indeed spoken only by Moses?
Go ahead.
Hath he not spoken also by us?
So they said, hey, he's spoken by us too. Go ahead and read.
And the Lord heard it. Now the man Moses was very meek, above all the men which were upon the face of the earth.
Go ahead and read.
The Lord spake suddenly unto Moses, and unto Aaron, and unto Miriam, Come out, ye three, unto the tabernacle of the congregation. And they three came out.
So he called them out. Go ahead and read.
And the Lord came down in the pillar of the cloud, and stood in the door of the tabernacle, and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth. And he said, Hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Lord, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and I will speak unto him in a dream.
I just wanted to show you that he does speak to them in visions and dreams. That's how he speaks to his prophets at times. I just wanted to show you that. So there we got the dream, but then he said sometimes they can show you a sign. Well, let's go to Exodus the 7th chapter. Because sometimes, yeah, they have dreams, So when somebody say they got a dream from the Lord, you got to pay attention to see if it truly is from the Lord. Sometimes people can have listen, there's the power of God, but there's also the power of that wicked one. So they can bring about signs, and we just get caught up in miracles, and we see people doing signs, even the stuff you see people today. I think he was African. I saw he was being held by like 20 people, and he puffed out his chest, and all these people flying back, and he walking around. I'm like, okay. I'm like, and? Where is the precedent for that? What am I getting at? Y'all in there on the wrong day. Exodus 7 and verse 1. See, so you can show a sign. Let's pick it up at verse 1. We ready to go ahead and read.
And the Lord said unto Moses, See, I have made thee a god to Pharaoh, and Aaron thy brother shall be thy prophet.
You see what he said? He said, I made you like unto God, unto Pharaoh, and Aaron thy brother shall be your prophet. Go ahead and read.
Thou shalt speak all that I command thee, and Aaron thy brother shall speak unto Pharaoh, that he send the children of Israel out of his land.
Go ahead.
And I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and multiply my signs and my wonders in the land of Egypt.
So he multiplied his signs, but he did it through this prophet. Let's skip down to verse 8. Go ahead and read.
And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, When Pharaoh shall speak unto you, saying, Show a miracle for you, then thou shalt say unto Aaron, Take thy rod and cast it before Pharaoh,
Go ahead.
and it shall become a serpent. And Moses and Aaron went in unto Pharaoh, and they did so as the Lord had commanded.
Go ahead.
And Aaron cast down his rod before Pharaoh and before his servants, and it became a serpent.
So now it's the power of God, the power of the Most High. He said Moses and Aaron went in unto Pharaoh, and they did a sign. They showed him that they were the prophet, that he was a prophet. When Aaron threw down the rod, and it became a serpent. Verse 11.
Then Pharaoh also called the wise men and the sorcerers. Now the magicians of Egypt, they also did in like manner with their enchantments.
So now you got some others with power. So they operate in power, but it's not from the same source. You know, we look at what's going on in these churches, Christian churches in particular, and we see things and we say, man, you know, sometimes you can look at that stuff and say that's fake. I'm here to tell you it's not all fake. I'm here to tell you there is power there, but it is of that wicked one. How do I know that? I know that because I've experienced that personally. I know for a fact, 100%, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that is power in some of these false churches. Because like I said, I've experienced it. The problem though is that it didn't come from the Lord. It didn't come from the Lord. See, you have to see and test, and we're going to find out how to do that, but you need to test what's going on. You need to try the spirits. So now you see something like this. See, Pharaoh is like, he had a mind like many people. He's on top, living good. Somebody told me I got to let my slaves go. Well, I don't know about that. Who is that? That's God? Let me see, show me. So now when he throw the rod up, he got some others that's going to do that. They have some power too. That's why a lot of times people come out these churches, they can't fully come out. Why? Because they've experienced some power. They don't realize they were susceptible to it. They don't realize it's contrary to the word. They don't realize it has absolutely nothing to do with nothing but deception, but they've experienced, so you can't tell them nothing. No matter what you read. So now when they see the manifestation like Pharaoh of power, they don't want to take heed. Let's keep reading.
For they cast down every man his rod, and they became serpents.
They did the same thing. They did the same thing as Aaron did. Go ahead and read.
But Aaron's rod swallowed up their rod.
Because all power is not the same power. Go ahead and read.
And he hardened Pharaoh's heart, that he hearkened not unto them, as the Lord had said.
I felt something, that's how I felt something in that church. You can't tell me nothing. But you can't read what you felt. You don't see a precedent for it. Let's keep reading. Let's skip down to verse 19.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, Say unto Aaron, Take thy rod, and stretch out thine hand upon the waters of Egypt.
Go ahead.
Upon their streams, upon their rivers, and upon their ponds, and upon all their pools of water.
Go ahead.
That they may become blood, and that there may be blood throughout all the land of Egypt. both in vessels of wood and in vessels of stone.
So show my power, show my signs, these marvelous signs with these plagues. Go ahead and read.
And Moses and Aaron did so as the Lord commanded. And he lifted up the rod and smote the waters that were in the river, in the sight of Pharaoh and in the sight of his servants. And all the waters that were in the river were turned to blood.
Go ahead.
And the fish that was in the river died, and the river stank. And the Egyptians could not drink of the water of the river. And there was blood throughout all the land of Egypt.
So now this sign was shown from the Lord, but now here we go with these magicians again. Go ahead and read.
And the magicians of Egypt did so with their enchantments. And Pharaoh's heart was hardened, neither did he hearken unto them, as the Lord had said. And Pharaoh turned and went into his house, neither did he set his heart to this also.
See, so you had these magicians, they had power. Like I said, if you got a prophet rising up amongst you and he claims to have some power, he dreams a dream that comes true, or he says it's going to be a sign, he shows you some miracle, it does not mean that he's from God. And we're going to see that later, because that's to come where the false prophet of all false prophets is going to come with lying wonders and signs. But now, let's pick it up back in Deuteronomy, the 13th chapter. Deuteronomy 13. And let's pick it up at verse 2. Because he said, when a prophet arise among you, a dreamer of dreams, and giveth thee a sign or a wonder. Go ahead and read.
And the sign, verse 2.
Yes, sir.
And the sign or the wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto thee, saying, let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known, and let us serve them.
Should we listen?
Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet.
No, we shouldn't listen. Or what?
Or that dreamer of dreams.
Go ahead.
For the Lord your God proveth you,